Now, boys and girls, I want to tell you something important. First of all, I hope you're having a good day. Today, Dogecoin and a lot of the other cryptos decided to show a little bit of a positive trend, even though Bitcoin has been sitting at the same exact pivotal point, close to 107,000. So slowly, if you just pay attention to CoinMarketCap, you'll realize that the altcoin season is slowly starting to show a little bit of strength. As you can see, Bitcoin was pretty much flattening out while altcoins are slowly making a recovery to where it previously was. I mean, if you just pay attention, Bitcoin is nearly at its all-time high, while majority of the altcoins, including Dogecoin, is nearly at its low when it comes to winter season that we had in 2022 and 2023. Does this mean that we're going to be seeing a lot of retail investors making a return? That would be something that should be expected. On the other end, if you just pay attention to Bitcoin, you'll realize that Bitcoin's also been a little bit quiet, and this should give you a little bit of perspective. If we stay consolidating in the same area for too long, and especially seeing that there's a little bit of uncertainty around the world, there is going to be a little bit of a pullback before we see an explosion. On the other end, if Dogecoin can reclaim 17 cents, then the substantial buy signal now presents a 3-day chart. It could unlock a rebound to 21 cents, while Bitwise updates the spot Dogecoin ETF proposal, signaling growing approval hope. And on the other end, the founder of 300 billion fund manager recommends up to 40% allocation to crypto. And Trump is still going against Powell. If this goes south, this can impact the crypto market very strongly, and Dogecoin is setting up for something big. Before we get into the details, if you guys are here for the first time, you want to stay up to date with everything to do with the crypto market, scroll down, tap the red subscribe button, especially turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date with the latest and the greatest news first. And while you're there, drop a like on it. We've been smashing every single like goal. Let's go for a like goal of 34. And I know that's going to happen, so I really love you guys. Now, let's talk about Dogecoin's price action. If we just look at the 1 hour action, you'll realize that, yeah, it was slowing down. There was not much momentum, but there's definitely a turn of events that's taking place. Just in the last 6 hours, you can see that the super trend has been flipped into an uptrend. Currently, we are sitting at a very strong resistance barrier, but if we're able to break above 17 cents, as I mentioned from that tweet, there is a very high chance that breaking over 17 cents can push us all the way to 21 cents and maybe at least 20 cents, which will be the point where we will experience the next large resistance. Overall, the market is still in a very positive understanding, and I just want to be clear about something. People who comment saying Sky, I know it's only like 10%, I mentioned this before, but whenever I see comments saying, oh, you're scamming me, like, you're just gonna be pretty much rug pulling Dogecoin. Well, just so you know, Dogecoin's market cap is nearly 24 billion, and I don't even have 1%. Let's talk about, I don't even have 0.1% of the money to be able to control or manipulate the market. Okay, so I just like to talk about my personal opinion and what I see might happen in the market. You don't need to follow what I do say. I mean, as I always say, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just my personal opinion, so you can take it with a grain of salt. At the same time, this is a very interesting take, because if you see, as Dogecoin is able to hold above 16 cents, there is a very strong chance that we will be seeing a recovery. And seeing how well Bitcoin is doing, majority of the altcoins will try extremely well or extremely hard to ensure that it's able to catch up at least a little bit. And Elon Musk says President Trump, the one big beautiful bill, will destroy millions of jobs and harm the US. Now, this is very interesting, and this is exactly the one question that all of you will have. As June 26th or 28th, Elon Musk and Trump appear to still have tensions due to public feud over the one big beautiful bill. Musk criticized the bill, while Trump defended it, threatened Musk companies. Their exchanges include personal insults and no clear evidence of getting back together. Despite a past close relationship, however, the history leaves open possibility of a future getting back together. Now, what will happen if you just pay attention? I mean, first of all, this is a very strong statement, which is President Trump terminates all the trade talks with Canada. We will let Canada know that tariffs that they will be paying do business with the United States. He pretty much tweeted this out, which is, we have just informed Canada, a very difficult country to trade with, including the fact that they have charged our farmers as much as 400% for years, has just announced that they are putting a digital service tax on our American companies, which is a direct attack on our country. They are obviously copying the European Union, which has done the same thing and currently under discussion with us also. Based on the tax, we are terminating all discussion with them, and we will let Canada know that tariffs are not going to be good for the business that they want to do. Now, I understand what Trump is trying to say, but at the same time, he's the one who started it all. I mean, everything was going pretty smoothly and each country knew what they wanted to do, but overall the markets are still under control. I don't know, man. Honestly, some of the ways that Trump says it, and he's saying that tariffs, if you think tariffs are bad, then go back to business school. I get it, there are some good things about tariffs, but being so aggressive is definitely going to be impacting your own country in a very negative way. President Trump calls Bitcoin amazing and says it's producing a lot of jobs. Now, I'm happy about that, and I know why he's saying that is because he's obviously trying to promote crypto as much as possible, so his family that's actually also holding on to a large chunk of crypto, they make good money. That's all I'm gonna say. And Treasury Secretary says tariffs on China are now down to 30%, and Chinese tariffs on US are 10%. Now, it's much better because you need to understand, compared to the plus 100% tariffs that we were experiencing, this is gonna obviously bring back the trade a little bit much more easier, and 10% and 30% is much easier to be able to play around with as compared to, you know, trying to do it with, let's say, 100%. And El Salvador makes history with Nvidia chip order. President just secured the world's first souvenir quote for cutting-edge chips following a meeting yesterday with the CEO and co-founder of Hydra Host. These aren't just any chips, they're the most advanced AI processors on the planet, and they headed straight to El Salvador's National AI Lab. All eyes on San Salvador. The future isn't just coming, it's being built right now. Now, this is a very strong statement. You need to understand, El Salvador has been ahead of the game when it comes to crypto. They wanted to purchase so much and they're still doing so. And now they're trying to get involved with AI. Watching for a golden cross between the MV/RV ratio and its 30-day SMA, which could mark the beginning of the Bitcoin's next leg. Keep in mind, I keep mentioning the same thing. I personally feel like the bull market is not over yet. There is a lot more opportunity still left, and there's definitely going to be more things happening with Bitcoin before the end of 2025. And Dogecoin ETF inches forward or towards approval as Bitcoin Bitwise updates the filing. Now, if this goes through, like, you know, the update and obviously the ETFs go through, this is going to have a very positive impact on the Dogecoin price. And Dogecoin consolidates at a key support level as high volume remains subdued. Now, just so you guys know, Bitcoin getting ETF was big for the crypto market, but Dogecoin getting ETF is going to be even bigger for the entire market, not just Dogecoin, because of the fact how much attention it gets and how much, you know, people talk about it in the normal everyday life. And emerging economies have sparked the crypto's most important retail revolution yet. And now let's just say those retail investors are going to be putting their money into crypto anytime, and that's going to help the altcoins. Other than that, everything I said is not financial advice, just my personal opinion. So make sure you do your own research. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.